Hello class. So in our previous video we were discussing chapter 4, absorption by roots. In that particular chapter we have already discussed characteristics of root which makes it efficient for absorption of water from the surrounding soil. In our previous class we have discussed about few of the processes by the help of which absorption of the water by the roots takes place, that is diffusion, imbibition and osmosis. Okay, we will continue with the osmosis further. I hope you know what is osmosis, right? What is osmosis? Osmosis, it's a movement of a water from a higher concentration of a water towards the lower concentration. And I told you in a previous video why osmosis takes place in roots, right? How through osmosis absorption of the water takes place through the roots. Like I told you, cell sap, it consists of more amount of solute than a solvent, because of which, since more amount of water is present in the surrounding soil, from surrounding soil water will be moving towards the root. Okay, that's how the absorption takes place. So how long do you think osmosis is going to take place? That means if we think it just logically, it should continue till it's balanced from both the sides, right? Outside in environment and inside wherever the absorption is taking place, till both the sides are equal, amount of water is equal in both the sides, osmosis should continue, right? But that does not happen. Okay, now why that doesn't happen? Because whenever the water influx of the water, absorption of water, movement of the water from higher concentration to lower concentration takes place, because of the continuous movement, what happens? Osmotic pressure is developed. Now what does osmotic pressure do? Osmotic pressure, it's a minimum pressure because which inhibits the osmosis process. Okay, so I hope you understood what is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, what is it? It's a minimum pressure which inhibits the process of osmosis. Okay, let us go through one experiment which will make the concept about osmotic pressure much clearer. So let us go through one experiment which will make the concept about osmotic pressure much clear. Okay, so in our previous video we have already discussed one experiment regarding your osmosis. We had a similar setup, right? We had a beaker, then beaker was filled with water, then you had a thistle funnel was filled with sugar solution. The mouth of a thistle funnel later on was covered with a cellophane paper. Your cellophane paper here is acting as a semi-permeable membrane, and this setup was kept for about an hour. What would we observe? We would observe that the level of water or a level of solution in a thistle funnel would be rising after a few hours. Okay, in that particular setup only, let's make one modification. And what would that modification be? That modification would be, you will insert a piston, okay, into that thistle funnel. Now that piston would exert certain pressure. Okay, now after the piston is exerted, what would happen is the water from the beaker would not be able to move towards the thistle funnel because of the pressure exerted by the piston. Thus we can say that the osmosis was not initiated. Okay, so here you can see that certain amount of pressure is inhibiting the process of osmosis. Now this pressure is only known as your osmotic pressure. I hope it's clear. Okay, if you go through the contents given in your book, it would be much more clear. Okay, what is it? It's a relative concentration of a solution which will determine in what direction the water is going to move or a solvent is going to move. Okay, concentration of a solution which is going to determine in what direction the water is going to move. So your tonicity can be further divided into three types: your isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic. Now in case of isotonic, let us take an example. You have a cell here, okay, and the outside environment containing a solution, okay. Now in this case, the concentration of a solute inside and outside will be same, because of which no movement of water, no net movement of water is gonna take place, because the concentration is similar both outside the cell and inside the cell. Now next, coming to hypotonic. Hypo means low, okay. So the solution outside contains low amount of solute. If low amount of solute means more amount of solvent as compared to the one present inside the cell. So if you have a more amount of solvent here, in this case let us assume solvent to be water. So what do you think will happen? The water will be moving from outside from solution towards the cell, leading to the swelling of the cell. This process is also known as endoosmosis. Here the movement of water is taking place from the solution inside the cell, okay. Next, coming to hypertonic. Hyper means high. So your solution contains more amount of solute. More solute means less solvent. More solute means less solvent as compared to inside the cell. So what will happen? If there is a more solute and less amount of water, then the water from inside the cell will move out into the solution. That would lead to shrinkage of the cell. Now this is also referred to as exoosmosis. I hope it's clear, because generally they ask you question from this particular topic. Okay, isotonic, hypotonic and hypertonic. I told you how to remember also. Hypo means low, low amount of solute means more amount of solvent. Here we are referring solvent as water. So if there is more water outside, then what will happen? Osmosis is going to take place. Osmosis means from higher concentration towards the lower concentration, right? Similarly, hypertonic, high solute, that's why less amount of solvent. That's why what will happen as compared to inside the cell. So water from inside the cell will be moving out. That process is known as exoosmosis. That would result into shrinkage. Okay, now let's understand the same concept with the help of a proper diagram here. So let us understand the tonicity in proper detail with the help of proper diagram. Okay, so what can you see is we have taken the solution of different concentration, 3 different concentration, and placed it in a beaker A, B and C. Okay, and then in that particular solution you have taken an animal cell and then placed it there on the different solution A, B and C. Now your A is an isotonic solution. Isotonic solution, what happens is in case of isotonic solution, the concentration of a solute is similar to the solute and solvent is similar to that of inside the cell. So you have a same environment, both it's inside the cell as well as outside the cell. That's why how will be the movement of water? You will not be able to see any kind of movement of water, and the cell will remain as it is. Okay. Now solution B is a hypertonic solution. Now hypertonic, I told you hyper means high. So here the concentration of a solute is high. So concentration of solute is more. So concentration of solute is more means less amount of water, less amount of solvent as compared to inside the cell. So if you have a less amount of water on outside as compared to inside the cell, what do you think will happen? Since there is more amount of water inside the cell, so water will move out of the cell, okay, out of the cell into the solution. What will happen if water will move out of the cell into the solution? That would result into shrinkage, okay. Now that is also referred to as exoosmosis. The net movement of water from inside the cell to outside is referred to as exoosmosis. So that will result to shrinkage of the cell. You can look at the diagram too, okay. So next one is your hypotonic solution. Now hypotonic solution, hypo means low. So here in this solution the amount of solute is less as compared to the solvent. So you have less amount of solute is less and amount of solvent is more as compared to your cell, okay. So outside you have more water, so what will happen? Water always moves from higher concentration, higher amount to the lower. So your water will be moving from a solution towards the cell. So if water moves from solution towards the cell, what will happen? Swelling of the cell is going to take place, okay. So I hope it's clear. You could differentiate between isotonic solution, hypotonic solution, and what will happen to the cell if it is placed in these three different solutions. They generally ask you question from this particular topic, so go through it properly. Next day we will be discussing about the other process by the help of which the absorption of water and minerals takes place. Thank you.